What's going on, Cougar fans, and welcome to another week's edition of CUC Women's Basketball Weekly. I'm Parker Kelly with the Cougar Sports Network, and I'm sitting here with head women's basketball coach, Coach Lauren Martin. Coach, it's been a while, but I'm excited to talk to you today.
I'm excited to be here.
Well, let's go ahead and rewind to pre-Thanksgiving break. The Cougars traveled out to California for a doubleheader with Pomona-Pitzer and the University of the Redlands. It wasn't the result that you were necessarily hoping for, dropping both of those games, but what was that overall experience like getting to bond with your team out on the West Coast?
It was a great time, and anytime that you can have experiences off the court and on the court together like that, it helps you just build those bonds and strengthen your ties moving forward.
And since coming back from California, the Cougars have dropped their last two games, Principia College a couple days ago, and then last week against Manchester College. That was before Thanksgiving. The Cougars were held to under 60 points scoring in both of those contests. What would you attribute those struggles to?
I think that we're just really looking to find our flow, and once the flow hits, I'm not worried about how we will proceed moving forward. So we've talked about those things, of course, and had some good meetings and some really great practices. The way we've been bouncing back is so promising, and this group is ready, and I know they can't wait to get on the floor and play again tomorrow.
And one player that's really picked up the slack is Alexis Desjardins. She's had double digits scoring in two of the last three. How impressive has her performance on the court been since coming back from injury?
Yeah, she got injured almost a year ago, and each week we're talking, hey, you're getting quicker, you're pushing through some things that maybe a few weeks ago you couldn't see yourself doing. And so she's continuing to try to push past some thresholds that she's had, and then because of that, it's translating to games. So I think that confidence in her is coming back, and she's just such a competitor. She wants to do anything that she can do to get us a W.
Absolutely, and the Cougars have a chance to snap this losing skid tomorrow as you travel right down the road for the Division Street rivalry against Dominican University. What do you want to see from your team tomorrow?
Oh, all together now, right? We're going into this game as one complete group, and I want energy, I want pride, I want to represent what we are and who we are in our program and our culture, the way that we need to, the way that we should, and the way that we know will help us go into any game. And with that, you win.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, best of luck tomorrow, and thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Make sure to check out the Cougars as they travel to Dominican University for a matchup tomorrow with the Stars. Tip-off is set for 1 p.m. Central Time, and coverage can be found on our athletics website at cucougars.com. I'm Parker Kelly signing off, and we'll see you next week on CUC Women's Basketball Weekly. Go Cougars. Cougar fans, and welcome to Inside Geisman Gymnasium for tonight's conference matchup between the visiting Inferno of Alverno College and the Cougars of Concordia University Chicago. I'm Parker Kelly, joined by Peter Borkowski, coming to you live from the Cougar Sports Network. We have a good matchup tonight. Let's go ahead and talk about the Inferno, Peter. They were taking on IIT and the Scarlet Hawks on Saturday. May have not been the best shooting performance, but still found ways to score, and one of those players was with their leading scorer, number 11.
You're okay.
What's going on, Cougar fans, and welcome to Inside Geisman Gymnasium for tonight's conference matchup between the Inferno of Alverno College and the Cougars of Concordia University Chicago. I'm Parker Kelly, joined by Peter Borkowski on the Cougar Sports Network. We should have a good one for you tonight. Let's go ahead and talk about each team's last matchup. Peter, the Alverno College, they took on the Scarlet Hawks of Illinois Institute of Technology. Really struggled shooting the ball and ended up losing that matchup.
Yeah, just not a good shooting split day from the Inferno. They shot 29% from the field, 13% from three. That's the one that really hurts. And then under 60% from the free throw line as well. When you're not even picking up those free points at the charity stripe, you know something's a little bit off. Now their leading scorer, Layla Almarahi, did put up 11 points, the only player in double digits for the Scarlet Hawks, for the Inferno against the Scarlet Hawks, but just not enough to get it done for Alverno.
And that's a great point that you bring up. Layla Almarahi, the only player for the Inferno averaging double digits, and she was really the only player that was able to get anything going against the Scarlet Hawks.
Right, team leading 11 points in that game against IIT. Team leading 11 points per game on the season. She's averaging the second most minutes on the team as well. Might be one of those cases, Parker, where if you can shut her down, if you're the Cougars defense, that might take care of this Alverno offense as a whole.
And now for the Cougars, they are coming off a major win on Monday night against Great Lakes Christian College, their second highest scoring output of the season, 92-50 victory. And it was quite the impressive performance, really all around, as all players got some minutes on Monday night.
One of those games, everything just went well if you're wearing maroon and gold. Like Parker mentioned, every player on the CUC roster who was dressed on Monday got a chance to get some minutes. I believe the lowest minute total from the game was 7. Every player but two scored. Every player but two players scored, and the leading scorer for the Cougars, Alexis Desjardins, she only had 13 points. And when you score 92 points, your leading scorer only having 13 really isn't that much in the grand scheme of things. So it just kind of shows how well the Cougars were spreading the love on Monday, how well they were moving the ball, had 29 assists on the day. One of those all team complete efforts you love to see.
And one of those players that is getting some more minutes and some more starts as well, number 15, Leela Scott, a freshman. And Peter, she's been very impressive when she's got the ball in her hands.
Yeah, Leela Scott, this is going to be her 6th start on the season tonight. And the interesting thing about Scott is she's not putting up major numbers in any one category, scoring 2 points a game. A lot of her stats, none of them specifically jump off the page, but she's one of those hustle players you love if you're a head coach like Lauren Martin. She does a little bit of everything. Her defense is extraordinary. She can rebound. She can score when she needs to. She had 2 early threes in that game against GLCC. So Leela Scott has been playing some really good ball through the first, 9-8 games of her college career, and she's getting another chance to shine here tonight in the starting lineup.
And a little history lesson for you. The Cougars are 16-10 all-time versus the Inferno. The Cougars have been able to dominate this series as of recently. Let's go ahead and talk keys to the game. Cougars are hot now with 2 straight wins, kind of building on a little bit of momentum. What are they going to have to do tonight to get it done versus the Inferno?
This is one of those games, if you're the Cougars, you just need to play your game. This is not a Cougars team going back to Monday who did anything extraordinarily well. You know, they didn't shoot lights out from 3. They didn't play, you know, amazing defense, but everything about their game was so well-rounded. It was good in every department. It was hard to pick out one factor for Monday that was maybe less than stellar. Cougars just need another game like that. You shoot the ball well enough, you play good enough defense, you get the good looks, things are going to fall the way of the Cougar. They should be able to come out tonight with the win if they're able to just put a complete game like they did Monday.
Absolutely. My key to the game, they're going to continue have to build off of the things they've done well. We mentioned before Great Lakes Christian and even before Dominican on last Saturday, the Cougars had a 4-game losing skid, really struggled to score the ball. They were held to under 60 in each of those matchups, but now they're starting to build that momentum back. They scored 92 points on Monday night. Like I said, their second highest scoring output of the season. They're going to continue have to knock down shots, build off of the things they've done well. Once again, we have a great matchup in store for you tonight as the Inferno and Cougars getting ready to tip off in just a little bit. We'll go ahead and send it courtside for our national anthem and starting lineups, but first we have a message from President of CUC, Dr. Russell Donner.
Hello, I'm Dr. Russell Dawn, President of Concordia University Chicago. Thank you for tuning in to today's Cougar Athletics broadcast. We take great pride in the strength of both our athletic and academic programs, which are rooted in our steadfast commitment to Jesus Christ. Dedicated to the liberal arts as a foundation of a high-quality college degree, we believe education should form individuals for service to their neighbors. This makes Concordia Chicago an exciting and fulfilling place to study, work, learn, and grow. Learn more today by visiting cuchicago.edu. Thank you, and go Cougars!
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Geisman Gymnasium for tonight's Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference women's basketball matchup between the Inferno of Alverno College and the Cougars of Concordia University, Chicago. Let's meet the starting lineups. First, for our visitors.
Starting lineups have been said. The national anthem has been played, and we are almost underway here in Geisman Gymnasium. Real quick, go over the starting lineups just in case you missed it. First, for the visiting Inferno, starting number 1, Victoria Parra. Number 11, Deanna Woodson. Number 14, Kyla Jamerson. Number 24, Madeline Cavallari. Number 33, Riley Spencer. And for the Cougars, number 0, Missouri Wiggum. Number 3, Kalia Reed. Number 4, Michaela Ellis. Number 12, Alexis Desjardins. And number 15, Leela Scott. The Inferno moving left to right, while the Cougars moving right to left on your TV screen. The Inferno in their all blacks with their white lettering and numbering. The Cougars in their home all golds with white numbering and lettering as well. Michaela Ellis and Madeline Cavallari set for the tip-off.
Cougars playing their first conference game at home, so this is a big tone setter for the rest of the season. Picked up the first conference win on Saturday against Dominican at Dominican, which almost a home game. They're just about a 5-minute drive down the street, but now you're back in Geisman against a NAC opponent. This is where you can really set the tone for the season. Home court advantage.
Cougars win the tip-off. Swung around to Kalia Reed. Kalia Reed tries to drive inside. That pass deflected, intercepted by the Inferno and number 14, Kyla Jamerson. So a good defensive start for the Inferno, who come into tonight with a 1-4 overall record, 0-1 in conference play. They're sitting at 11th. A shot by Jamerson, no good. Offensive rebound almost pulled in, but ends up going in the hands of Missouri Wiggum, who gets it up court to Reed, and Reed another turnover, a rare mistake by the freshman.
This is a chance to really send a message if you're Alverno. Of course, they need to convert on the offensive end, which they haven't yet, but you get 2 early turnovers. Now you just have a nice play to save the ball from going out from Deanna Woodson. If you can score first against a Cougars team who has a better record than you, has been playing a little bit better this season, that's going to be a bit of a message to a team who's playing on home court.
The shot from Woodson, good from about the free throw line. So the Inferno strike first. They lead 2-0. We mentioned Alverno sitting at 11th in conference. Meanwhile, the Cougars sitting at 4th currently with that 4-4 overall record, the 1-0 record in conference play. Cougars currently riding a 2-game win streak after their win on Monday night versus Great Lakes Christian College. The miss by Michaela Ellis is pulled in by Alverno.
Well, now it's on the Cougars to respond here. Alverno's been playing some tough defense, forced 2 turnovers, and then some strong defense there in Michaela Ellis. And they also score the first basket, of course. So CUC, they need to find that response. Even if this is a team that you're better than on paper, anything can happen once you hit conference play.
Up court pass to Reed, and she gets the layup to go. Nice dish from Michaela Ellis, who forced the turnover on the other end. So we're tied up at 2-2. A quick timeout called by Alverno head coach Carlisle Ross. We'll go ahead and take a break on the Cougars Sports Network. Cougars the Inferno 2-2.
Cougar Nation, we love the support you give us on and off the court. To donate to our athletic communications department, hit the thank button.
This helps us to continue to have the best live stream possible for some great Cougar basketball moments.
Thank you and enjoy the game.
Quick 30-second timeout called on the court. We're also going to get a substitution for the Cougars. In for Kalia Reed is number 55, Sydney Mitchell, the guard out of Aurora, Illinois. She's been getting some more minutes as of recently. Cougars coming out in a full court press. Interesting approach here early in the fourth quarter. Up court pass. And there it's going to get the layup to go, Victoria Parra.
Nice move there by Parda. A little spin cycle gives her just enough room under the basket to put up a shot off the board. Alverno's looking pretty decent here out of the gates. Cougars still trying to find their groove, though. Of course, a three-pointer is going to help with that.
Missouri Wiggum with the three-pointer to give the Cougars their first lead of the night, 5-4. Missouri Wiggum, a player that's really improved her game over the offseason. The senior out of Naperville, Illinois, she's been with this program for 4 years now. She knows the system and how it works. Could be a player to look out for tonight as a corner three from Parra. No good. Defensive board pulled in by Desjardins. Now Sydney Mitchell gets it in the corner to Desjardins. Now Wiggum. Back to Mitchell, who's standing on the wing. Cougars getting the ball passed around here early, trying to spread it around. Another turnover. This time it's in the hands of Deanna Woodson. She's going to try her hand at a three. No good off the side of the rim, even hit the backboard. Board pulled in by Wiggum.
Say for the Cougars offense, just too many in-tight passes. We saw that was what Reed's first toner was off, but here we go. Here's an open three.
Desjardins not able to connect. Usually when she gets that wide open three, she's automatic.
Yeah, Desjardins, probably the Cougars' best three-point shooter. She's hitting them at a 45% rate this year. And yeah, open three like that. She's usually going to hit that, but Cougars able to make everything all right with the bucket.
Michaela Ellis with her iconic jumper. It seems like we talk about it on every broadcast. Doesn't matter if she's fading away. She's going to hit it almost every time as the Cougars extend their lead by 3 points, trying to create some defensive pressure, and they do. Quick foul called as Leela Scott got the steal. I believe this one's going to go against Cavallari.
Yeah, and that's what Scott brings to the table. I talked about it in the pregame show, but she's just such a strong defender. She's a lanky defender, too. 5'10", 6'10". She has a good wingspan. She's able to get tips like that. That pass was well over her head. She's still able to get just enough fingertips on it to be able to cause that ball to drop and eventually pick it up.
Desjardins wouldn't be long before she hit a three, top of the key. Alexis Desjardins, that quick trigger, even if she has a little bit of space, she's going to pull it. As another steal from Leela Scott. Peter, we talked about in the pregame, she's been getting a lot more minutes, even got a couple of starts as of recently, and she's really making the most of it.
Yeah, Leela Scott is waiting to see if that long three from Desjardins went in. But, yeah, that's really Scott's main offering is her defense. I mean, her offense is getting better, it feels like, every time we saw her. She had a couple made threes on Monday against GLCC, but it's really that defense. Again, that wingspan, that lankiness to be able to just get a hand in there, poke the ball away, get a steal, whatever it may be. That's really what she brings to this team. And I think Coach Martin's recognizing that. That's why she's making her 6th start of the season tonight.
Nice move by Desjardins on her way to the rim. Fouled, and that's going to go against Riley Spencer. So now Desjardins going to get a trip to the free throw line. First free throw attempts by any team here in the first quarter as we get one more substitution from Coach Martin as Allie McGregor makes her first appearance on the night, replacing Michaela Ellis.
Yeah, and we see McGregor again coming off the bench. I think Monday night's game was the first time at home we've seen her come off the bench. And, I think Coach Martin is really starting to like that decision with McGregor of, she's been a starter historically her career here at CUC. Now you're bringing her off the bench, and that's not a dig or anything on their talent. That's just a different kind of look. Now you're bringing McGregor off the bench. She's not as tired at this point of the game because she's getting her first couple minutes here. And, she can hopefully still bring that strong rebounding she has her whole career here to CUC. Now you're just bringing her in that second wave of players versus having her off the bat.
Desjardins able to connect on both of the free throws. The Cougars are applying a lot of defensive pressure, wreaking havoc on that Inferno offense. They've cooled down. 6 turnovers in their last 4 minutes and 21 seconds. Haven't scored a bucket in over 3 minutes. We see the Cougars went to that full court press about 8.5 minutes left in the first quarter, and so far it's worked out for them.
Yeah, this Cougars defense, they're built off of speed. They're built off of, throwing hands, getting steals, getting tips. And that's what they've been doing here.
Kalia Reed, a three, and it's good. Kalia Reed from the left wing, 15-4 Cougars. They're on a 10-0 run over the past 3 minutes.
Yeah, you could always kind of tell what game Kalia Reed's going to be having by her start. Usually when she doesn't have a great game, you can tell right off the bat. And usually when she is going to have a great game, you can tell right off the bat. So seeing her score 5 points in her first 3 minutes of game time, that's a really good sign from Reed that she's going to have one of those, maybe 20-plus performances that we know she's capable of.
To inbound for the Inferno is Cavallari. She gets it into Woodson, guarded by Mitchell. Short pass dumped off to Para. Para's going to try to drive in. Nice defense by Kalia Reed. Now Reed going to take it up the court for the Cougars. Gets it up court to Scott. And now Mitchell, nice pump fake shot. Off the back of the rim. Rebound by McGregor. Put back, no good. Rebound pulled in by Cavallari. Now Woodson going to take it up the court.
That should have been 2 points there for McGregor. You get the rebound right under the basket. No one really on top of you. The closest player was Scott, another player in the maroon and gold. Or I guess gold tonight exclusively with the yellow jersey. So should have been 2 points for the Cougars and McGregor. See if they can get those back here.
And now Mitchell, baseline drive pass to Desjardins. Desjardins is going to be fouled once again. And this foul going to be called on Victoria Para. Inferno now with 4 fouls here in the first quarter. Look all kinds of out of sorts really on both sides of the ball as Michaela Ellis set to inbound for the Cougars.
Yeah, after they jumped out to that early lead, it's 2-0 for a bit and then ended up being 4-2 for a second as well. Ever since then, they've just, like you said, Parker, they've looked out of sorts. Now you got a wide open Malia Perry on the other side, who should have been able to hit that a little bit earlier. She would have been a wide open three.
Leah Perry checked in for the Cougars not too long ago. She's going to try her hand at a three. Offensive board pulled in by McGregor, blocked by Jamerson. It's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be last touched by Alverno College, so it's going to stay with the Cougars as Perry set to inbound. Also checking in for CUC, number 44, Miracle Anderson, who's also getting some more minutes as of recently. Perry, another three, no good, off the side of the rim. Another quick foul called.
So we'll go against Anderson, who one of those two players on Monday who didn't score a bucket for CUC, but she had 4 assists. I mean, that's just selfless basketball right there. You're going to be sacrificing, hey, everybody's scoring, but I'm okay not scoring as long as I make sure my teammates score. And that was just excellent play from the freshman at the end of that Monday game.
The bank is open for Riley Spencer, as it's the Inferno's first bucket in over 5 minutes of play. And it came at a much-needed time as CUC starting to heat up. Now Reed, a three. No good. Wild miss. Rebound pulled in by McGregor. Not able to get the putback. Now Michaela Ellis is able to clean it up. Allie McGregor has had a couple offensive rebounds tonight, just not been able to get the putback. As the good defense by Anderson, able to slide over into the post. Now a three up top by Jamerson. No good. Rebound pulled in by Ellis.
Ellis doing some nice work in the paint, getting those rebounds. We saw the offensive one to score the bucket, and now a defensive one to get the Cougars going the other way.
Perry, a three. No. Rebound, Reed. Back out to Ellis. And now Reed going to reset things for the Cougar offense. Alverno now running a 2-3 zone defensively. Anderson for three. That's off the mark. Rebound pulled in by Perry, who saves it. Nice save into McGregor.
Cougars got to get something going. Short shot clock.
Reed, a three. No. Rebound pulled in by Anderson. Tons of offensive rebounds for the Cougars on this possession alone.
CC's just out working them in the paint. Good positioning, too. These aren't, physical rebounds they're getting. They're just in the right spot at the right time, like that.
And now Ellis is going to get fouled trying to go up. That's going to go against Kyla Jamerson. A holding. And now Michaela Ellis going to get a trip to the free throw line. Cougars are one of their last 10 from the field. Now a chance to get some points for the fifth-year senior in Michaela Ellis. She's able to connect on her first free throw.
Yeah, this could be a good game for free throws for CUC. I mean, Alverno, I think you said it best, Park. They just look a little out of sorts, so maybe we'll see some more fouls come along, and when that happens, CUC, you just got to take care of business on the charity stripe, put up some free points, and you got a 12-point lead already in the first quarter. Just keep extending on that.
Cougars still running that full court press as we get a couple more substitutions. Abby Kulig and Princess Gates both out on the court for Concordia. They're working against the Inferno, trying to get a stop. Kulig, rebound pulled in. Gets it up the court to Miracle Anderson, who's running the point right now for the Cougars. That pass across the court to Princess Gates. Pass deflected and stolen by Jamerson.
Got to be a little bit quicker with that pass. Gates took just a second hesitation, and that allowed the Alverno defender to get over, set her feet just enough to throw her arms up and knock that pass down.
And a traveling violation called against Alverno College. 12.5 seconds left. Shot clock off here in the first quarter. Cougars with the 19-7 lead. Offense has come and gone in spurts. This offense has significantly cooled down as of recently, but the defense has stayed steady throughout the remainder of the quarter.
Yeah, 1 of 10 in their last 10 field goal attempts.
Anderson's three, no good. And that'll send us to the second quarter. The Cougars with the 19-7 lead. We'll be right back for the second quarter. You're listening to the Cougar Sports Network.
We appreciate you tuning into today's game.
To stay up to date to all things CUC women's basketball, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at CUCWUall.
We'll see you on campus soon.
Back here in Geisman for the start of the second quarter. The Cougars with a double-digit lead over the Inferno, 19-7. And Peter, we talked about it, but Cougars' offense has cooled off as of recently, 0 for their last 4 from the field, but their defense has been very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, they're just limiting Alverno to tough shots, and on top of that, the rebounding has been excellent from CUC, as they currently have 17 total rebounds to Alverno's 5, which is just kind of a mind-boggling stat for one quarter of basketball. So if CUC keeps that up, and even if they're going to miss shots, they're going to miss field goals, if you can get rebounds, you're going to give yourself those critical second chance points or be able to draw fouls just like that.
Cougars really doing a nice job of passing the rock around as Abby Kulig gets fouled on her way up. So a trip to the free throw line for the freshman out of Carroll Stream, Illinois. And get a chance to extend this Cougar lead. Misses the first one. Cougars are 4 of 5 from the line here in the first half. As shot number 2 coming up for Kulig. That shot finds its way through the bottom of the net. So the Cougars with a 20-7 lead. Looks like there's an issue with the clock. So we're going to get that reset.
They're trying to reset the fouls. Currently read 6-1, which I don't think we've had 7 fouls in less than 30 seconds of basketball. As now we're good to go. 1 foul for Alverno. Cougars sitting at 0.
There we go. A good defensive play by Princess Gates. And another quick foul called against Kalia Reed. I believe that is going to go on number 4, Morgan Witten. First time we've called her name tonight. So Cougars going to stay on offense and set to inbound Malia Perry. Perry, dangerous pass. That's into Gates. They're going to say Gates stepped out.
Yeah, CUC, I mean, after they went on an impressive run to take a significant lead, as we've mentioned, they've really slowed down. And, you're kind of lucky you're playing a team who's really struggling offensively like Alverno is, but you still got to be able to put points on the board. Just keep building that lead so if Alverno does find their shooting stroke, you have enough of a cushion that you can take a little bit of a, punch to the mouth and still be okay.
And now a 3 attempt by Golubowski, no good. Fighting for the board. Allie McGregor's on the floor. Princess Gates trying to get in there, as well as Alexia Harris. Possession arrow going to favor Alverno College. As we get another substitution, Deanna Woodson comes in for Riley Spencer.
Jump ball might have favored Alverno, but that's just a good, gritty play there by Allie McGregor. Just diving on the ground, just keeping a hand on the board, and there's another great play defensively.
Princess Gates, coast to coast, misses the layup, but they're going to say she got fouled. So an opportunity coming up at the charity stripe for the junior out of Gary, Indiana. Princess Gates has really worked on her free throw shooting over the offseason. We've talked about it in previous broadcasts. She's shooting about 78% on the year as she connects with her first one.
Yeah, free throws were a big Achilles heel for this Cougars team last year, not just being able to take those free points that the other team's gifting you through fouls. And they've really been trying to shore that up this season so far, shooting 68% from the field, from the free throw line.
And Kalia Reed forces yet another turnover. It was last touched by Woodson. My viewpoint up in the booth thought that might have went out on Reed, but they're going to say it went out on Woodson. So the Cougars another crack at it on the offensive end. As Perry from the wing thought about it, decides to give it up to Reed. Now Gates thought about it as well. Cougars really spreading the wealth right now, getting everybody some touches as Desjardins, nice move and finish for Alexis Desjardins.
And that's just great off-ball movement there. Desjardins cutting into the paint, receiving that pass as soon as she does, too. And then just being able to use her momentum, carry herself to the rim, even if she's fallen over. And that's something that the Cougars have struggled in a little this year, is that off-ball movement. A lot of times you'll see players just super stagnant, just standing around waiting. You get more cuts like that, you're going to get looks like that a little bit more often.
Nice block by Desjardins. And Reed taking it up the court for the maroon and gold. And they're going to call a carry on Reed. And Peter, I want to talk about this defense. This is a Cougars team who gives up 64.5 points per game, which is about middle of the pack in the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference. And they still haven't allowed Alverno to make a bucket here in the second quarter.
No, it's just fast and it's aggressive. They're poking a lot. They're using their hands a lot. They're just trying to get a piece of that ball, no matter what it may be, a little fingertip, a little palm, whatever it is. They're just trying to get a piece of it so they can disrupt the play. And that's really what it's all about. The defense is disrupting the play. Even if it's not a turnover, make the offense regather themselves and figure it out, which gives your defense a chance to set up again. And I think the full court press is a perfect example of that. They're going to use their speed and athleticism to just keep up with you and get anything they can on the ball.
And now Reed to Gates. And now Desjardins, a 2-point jumper, no good, but a jump ball called. Possession arrow favoring the Cougars. So the Cougars going to remain on offense with their already 17-point lead as Desjardins going to inbound this one. And that pass into Michaela Ellis, and she's fouled. That one's going to go against number 35, Haley Youngblood.
That's a beautiful out-of-bounds play. Michaela Ellis standing in front of Leela Scott, and then she peels out, flips behind her, and then goes to the basket. So as soon as she got that inbounding pass, just put it up, and, didn't get the bucket to go, but able to draw 2 free throws out of it.
Ellis gets a shooter's roll on her first free throw attempt. Second one good as well. Cougars shooting very well from the line tonight, 8 of 9, 89%. Still in the full court press. Haven't given up that defensive pressure as a foul called on Kalia Reed. That's her first foul of the night, the first for the Cougars here in the second quarter. We get a pair of substitutions as Wiggum and Mitchell both out on the court for CUC.
I think Reed trying to claim she got hooked there, which caused her to make that foul. Gets no love from the referee, so the Cougars at least get a chance to set up their defense.
Sure seen have a lot of foul calls called tonight as Alverno College getting the ball swung around. A three-point attempt is good from Deanna Woodson. It's Alverno's first bucket since the first quarter, and they're back up on the board.
Well, Cougars are playing a lot of trap defense. They're sending a lot of bodies to the ball, more than one. And if you're Alverno, that means that somebody's going to be open when you have more than just one player going to the ball carrier. And they did a good job finding the open three-point shooter there in Woodson. They're going to need more of that to get this offense going. They just hit double digits, and we got less than 6.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
Now bucket from CUC is Missouri Wiggum able to get the floater. Another turnover by the Cougars. This time it's Sydney Mitchell. Gives it up to Desjardins.
Again, 2 bodies to the ball. Ellis and Scott were both there. Alverno couldn't move it quick enough, so CUC able to reap the benefits.
Desjardins, a deep three, in and out. Coming in for the board was Mitchell, and Mitchell, one of the probably the shortest player out on the court right now, standing at about 5'5". She got some airtime coming in for that rebound, just not able to pull it in. Alverno now to go back on offense. A trail by 18. Trying to break that Cougar press that's Been going since about midway through the first quarter. Another turnover by Alverno. Sydney Mitchell taking it up the court, tries to get it to Leela Scott, but that's deflected by Youngblood. And now out of bounds. Believe that was also out on Youngblood.
Bad break there for Deanna Woodson. Had some speed going to the paint. Looks like she's ready to kick it out to an open three-point shooter and just lost traction on the court and fell. So can't really put that turnover on anything. Just took a little slip and fall, and because of it, Cougars go the other way, and now Michaela Ellis has a chance to add a couple points onto the board.
And the same inbounds play we saw not too long ago, Cougars run the exact same play again as Michaela Ellis gets fouled. It was on Riley Spencer. And now Ellis another trip to the free throw line.
If it ain't broke, Cougars got 2 free throws out of it last time. They get 2 free throws out of it this time, and able to benefit because of it. And, I mean, the thing is, despite the fact the Cougars are up by 20, they're only shooting 33% from the field. It's not an exceptionally good shooting day from the Cougars, but going 11 for 12 from the free throw line, that's going to help a lot.
Definitely help. That's
when CUC's improved free throw shooting really, really comes into play. I mean, 11 points from the charity stripe alone.
And now Desjardins from the wing, it's good. Alexis Desjardins picking up right where she left off. She now has 2 threes here in the contest tonight.
Yeah, Desjardins, I mean, we got to see her come to CUC last year as a transfer, and it took her a little bit to find her game, it felt like, but you've really seen it this season. She's settled into that role as a three-point sharpshooter.
Now Missouri Wiggum taking it up. She's fouled on the way up by Kyla Jamerson. That's 6 fouls on Alverno here in the second quarter.
Yeah, we still got 4:55 to go in the second quarter. We're just over halfway done with it. So Alverno, they're going to have to be careful. We saw this problem for GLCC last game. They only had 2 substitutions on their bench, and Alverno, they got a little bit more than that suited up tonight. But still, if you have players running into foul trouble before we even get to halftime, that's going to put a lot of strain on Coach Carlisle Ross and the rest of his roster to, you're going to have to start playing less physical, which means more layups may start hitting for the Cougars. It's really just a bad situation to be in when you are already in foul trouble. And, again, we got 4:55 to go before halftime hits.
11 total fouls on the Inferno. They have 1 player in foul trouble already, Kyla Jamerson with 3 already, so not a good situation for the Inferno. They also find themselves down 25, hoping to get some points here. As that pass in the paint to Youngblood. She misses her layup. Rebound pulled in by CUC. Sydney Mitchell quickly up the court. Gets it back to Wiggum. And now Lindley Southern, she gets a touch as she entered the game for the Cougars. Coach Lauren Martin really going into that bench.
Yeah, well, you're up by 24. 4:20 left to go here in the first half. Why not start seeing what some of the lesser played players can do here? You don't want to over-exasperate your starters when you're up by so much. Give them a break, give them halftime. They can come back in the second half, keep getting some points on the board. But Coach Martin has really benefited these, so far last game and a quarter plus of having a really significant lead against GLCC and now Alverno, that she can play some of those players and see what they got in the tank. And that means when you get into closer games as the season goes on, you know exactly what you got personnel-wise.
We get a substitution. Miracle Anderson checks in for Michaela Ellis. That last foul called on Missouri Wiggum. Her first foul of the night, the second for the Cougars here in this quarter.
First free throw attempt of the night for Alverno, too.
Absolutely, and at the line is Woodson, and she airballs that one. So the Cougars catch a break and hold the Inferno.
Say nothing but net, except in the wrong way. And, it hurts when you get your first free throw of the night, 4:07 to go in the second quarter, and then you can't hit that. That's just I mean, that's one way Alverno is going to have to get back in this game, is they're going to have to be a little bit more physical offensively, draw some more fouls, and then you got to hit any free throw the Cougars are giving you, especially when they're playing such a disciplined game like they are tonight. You have to take every free point that you can get because points are just not coming regular 5-on-5 basketball, so you got to take those free throws. And even if it was the only one of the night, you got to be able to hit that. That's one free point you could have back right now.
That pass into Miracle Anderson, who's standing alone at the top of the key. Kind of surprised she didn't shoot it. She drives in, misses the layup. Rebound by Southern. Put back, no good. Offensive board now by Mitchell. That's no good. Rebound finally pulled in for Alverno by Woodson. And that pass going to go out of bounds. So that's just an offensive turnover for Alverno College, so the Cougars are just going to get the ball right back.
Alverno probably moving a little too fast for their own good. Morgan Witten had that ball under the basket, 2-on-1. You just got to go there. That's not one of those plays you can kick it out to the three-point arc and get a three-pointer. That's basically another 2 good points right there. I think Alverno just not able to process things that quickly on a fast break.
Rebound pulled in by Southern off of the Missouri Wiggum miss. She was standing at the top of the key. And this one's going to be last touched. I believe that is on Victoria Parra. So the Cougars going to remain on offense as Sydney Mitchell gives it up to Scott. And now Southern in the corner. Right back to Scott. Poked out by Cavallari. 9 seconds left on the shot clock. 3:05 remaining in the first half. We get some more substitutions. Kalia Reed and Alexis Desjardins both back out on the court for CUC. Now Mitchell off of the Anderson screen, and Desjardins three tried to draw the foul. This is going to be taken coast to coast by Woodson. May not get an easier layup in her life.
No, Desjardins would have been the first player back as she took the three. However, she fell. Maybe a foul if we were watching a little bit closely. Could have made a more certain call on it, but because she was spending time on the ground after falling down, that allowed Alverno to take it all the way to the rack, and they're back within 20 here. So see if Alverno go on a little bit of a run. Cougars 0 for their last 6 field goals, so struggling a bit offensively.
Full timeout taken by Coach Lauren Martin. The Cougars lead the Inferno 34-14. We'll go ahead and take a quick pause in the action. We'll be right back on the Cougar Sports Network. We're back here. 2:44 remaining here in the second quarter. The Cougars with a 20-point advantage over Alverno College, 34-14, as Sydney Mitchell back into the game for CUC, taking it up the court. That pass off to Scott, who tries to get it to Desjardins in the post. She's going to be fouled by Morgan Witten. She just reached around and got a piece of that hand.
Well, it didn't come at a more opportune time for CUC. They haven't scored in over 2 minutes and 10 seconds. So CUC now has a chance to end that scoring drought, put some points on the board. Still struggling from the field no matter what, though. 0 for their last 6, as I mentioned before the timeout. 1 for their last 8. And, again, despite the fact they're up by 20, I mean, they're shooting under 30% from the field. Alverno, they're shooting 32% from the field. It's just the Cougars have been able to jack up almost twice as many shots. So despite the fact that you're up by over 20, still a lot of things to figure out for this Cougars offense to look a bit more smooth.
Missed by Desjardins. Rebound pulled in by Scott, who's made her presence felt. Even if it's not scoring-wise, she's been great on the defensive end tonight. Cougars also 13 of 16 from the free throw line, shooting about 81% as a team. Really getting it done, drawing those fouls, getting to the line. Heave.
Say that's got to be picked off. That's basically a duck in football terms.
Yeah, heave from Woodson, picked off by CUC. And now Mitchell, analyzing the defense, gets it to Anderson. Right back to Mitchell. They want to get it in the paint to Desjardins, but double teamed by the Inferno. And now 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Desjardins pulls up. Jumper, good. Alexis Desjardins.
Well, you could have chosen an easier shot to break your field goal drought with, but a mid-length jumper like that will, I mean, hey, 2 points is 2 points, and Desjardins has the confidence to hit it. So breaks the Cougars scoring drought. First field goal in 7 attempts, and going to force Alverno to take another one of their timeouts.
So 30-second timeout called by Alverno head coach Carlisle Ross. And his first season with the team will keep it here. We mentioned the Cougars been a little cold. 1 of 8 from the field. Defense has remained steady, though, only allowing 7 points here in the second quarter, but they've also been able to get it done, causing those turnovers and getting to the free throw line.
Yeah, I mean, Alverno is just playing a sloppy game themselves, and credit the CUC defense. They're taking not only advantage of that, but like we've been mentioned, they've been playing hard, aggressive defense. They're not trying to stonewall you in the paint. You know, they're not just parking the bus and say, hey, come at us. They are all over the court, full court press, as we see right here. They want to get that turnover, whether it's on their free throw line or the Cougars' free throw line. So just great aggressive, handsy defense for the Cougars. Alverno, though, if they're able to break it like they do there, they got to move the ball really quickly.
Air ball from Alverno. Fighting for the board as Princess Gates knocks over a couple of Inferno players as Victoria Parra and Morgan Golubowski both take a tumble. Possession arrow does favor Alverno, so they're going to stay on offense. 19 seconds left on the shot clock. Does not matter as Princess Gates able to get the steal for CUC. That defense has been quite impressive tonight. Now Leela Scott, a corner three, no good. Offensive board pulled in by Reed, and Reed is down.
She landed
She's
on
grabbing
her arm
elbow.
funny. Yeah, you could see it as soon as she fell. She had one of her arms straight out.
She's still down on the court as Alexis Desjardins goes up and is fouled. Now Princess Gates, a couple of her teammates coming over to check on Reed.
Yeah, and she was collecting that rebound. It was a great rebound. I mean, Kalia Reed is not an explicitly tall player, and she got all the way up there and just couldn't keep her momentum from falling. And when she was falling, you could see her stick an arm out. So was definitely landed on it funny.
Go ahead and take a quick break here on the Cougar Sports Network. CUC leading Alverno College 37-14.
Cougar fans,
Thanks for tuning into today's game.
For more information on the women's basketball program, head to cucougars.com.
We hope to see you at our next game.
Interested to find out more about Concordia Chicago?
Head to cuchicago.edu for information on our university.
We appreciate y'all for tuning in today's game. Hope to see you soon.
We're back here inside of Geisman Gymnasium. Cougars leading the Inferno 37-14. We saw Kalia Reed being helped off of the court by a couple of CUC athletic trainers. Not exactly sure what had happened. We just saw that her momentum couldn't keep her from falling to the court.
Yeah, I just hope Reed, who's having such a standout freshman season for CUC, second on the team in points per game at 13. She's started in every game so far this season, and you just hope that whatever happened to her, nothing too serious, and she can be back in action sooner rather than later. But meanwhile, Alexis Desjardins able to tack on another point for CUC.
Alexis Desjardins, she was fouled before the injury, so now she gets a chance at a pair of free throws, and she's able to connect on them both. Malia Perry is going to replace Kalia Reed out on the court for the Cougars. At press, still strong as ever.
Great defense there. Oh, my goodness.
Just able to create the turnover, and Leela Scott takes it to the rim.
Alverno just can't beat it. They got to move the ball quickly, exactly like that. Just keep passing it. The ball is going to move faster than the other player's feet. No matter what, you cannot be holding on to that ball longer than a second or two, or else Cougars, they're going to be 2 yellow jerseys on you right away. And now Alverno, they're trying their hand at a little bit of a press here.
Alverno trying the press as that last bucket for the Inferno came from Victoria Parra. Probably the best offensive play we've seen from Alverno College tonight, as a quick foul called, push in the back.
Yeah, it's just quick ball movement for Alverno. Once they broke out of their own half, it was just a bang-bang play. And, again, that's what you need to beat a press like this. You can't really rely on dribbling the ball up court. Just pass, pass, pass all the way to the basket, because that's what you got to do to beat the Cougars press. And now you see after the Cougars got beat last time, they're pulling everyone back a little bit. Sydney Mitchell, a point of attack defender.
Now the Inferno trying to get something going. That's poked away by Malia Perry. Another nice defensive play. Princess Gates.
Mitchell got caught up on the screen, but Malia Perry there to poke the ball away and stop anything.
And now Alexis Desjardins able to hit another jumper. Alexis Desjardins already 17 points here in the contest, and that'll do it for the first half, as the Cougars with a big lead over Alverno College, 43-16. Peter, Cougars maybe not the best offensive performance in the second half compared to what we saw in the first half, but they were definitely able to close out the first half much better.
Yeah, the offense kind of pulled it together at the very end there. Got their field goal percentage, above 30, which is, it was sitting below that mark for a good chunk of that second quarter. And again, it's just the turnovers. Cougars 27 points off of 20 Alverno turnovers. I mean, Alverno is just getting suffocated out here by an insanely aggressive Cougars press. So we'll see what Coach Martin can cook up in the halftime locker room. And I mean, it's one of those games where as long as you don't come out and shoot yourself in the foot, it should be a good second half for CUC.
A real quick look at the box score. The leading scorer of the game as a whole, Alexis Desjardins, was 17. She's 5 of 12 from the field, 2 of 6 from behind the arc. Also, Michaela Ellis with 10. The leading scorer for Alverno College is Deanna Woodson with 9. She's 4 of 8 from the field, 1 of 3 from three-point line. Real quick, once again, the Cougars leading the Inferno 43-16. We'll be back for the second half here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Concordia University Chicago is a Christ-centered Lutheran university where truth, freedom, and vocation form students for lives of influence and service for the common good. Our university offers a wide variety of undergraduate and graduate degree options that are available in person and online. That means we have a program designed for you. Whether you're a high school student, an adult returning to complete your degree, or someone looking to enhance your credentials and prepare for career growth. As a member of this university community, you'll also find support in your spiritual and personal life so you can grow in the faith and discover ways to serve others. To start your next journey with us, visit cuchicago.edu today.
Hi, I'm Monica here at Concordia University Chicago, and we're here outside of Concordia Hall.
Concordia Hall is the university's newest residence hall, right on the edge of campus, perfect for students who want to explore the nearby downtown of Oak Park and River Forest. The flexible suite-style living in fully furnished bedrooms lets students choose what works best for them. Every floor is complete with a community lounge and full common kitchen, with a kitchenette, microwave, sink, and refrigerator. The first floor offers the Victory Lounge, connecting to 2 additional residence halls, with no shortage of ways to relax. You're also right next to an open, outdoor plaza, better known as Victory Lane.
So now we're here in Concordia Hall's suite-style dorm room, and this is a really nice place to just hang out and chill. And since it's so big, there's plenty of room to spread out and do your homework and just relax. So now making our way into one of the bedrooms, there's plenty of space in this room for you and your roommate. A lot of times students will move the desks so that they've got their separate study space, but my roommate and I, we get along really well, so we can just work together here in the same space. Sometimes I like doing art as well, as you can see by the painting here. It's a 16 by 10 feet space, and most rooms on campus are 10 by 12 feet. So it's really nice to have a little extra space to work with here in Concordia Hall. So this hall is super close to the chapel and the Kennedy Community Center, which has the new Crossroads Dining Hall. So the location is super convenient. And I really love the city scene too. The location here is the closest on campus to the Oak Park River Forest downtown area, which has a ton of great stores and restaurants. Speaking of the city scene, I adore the view from this lounge because you can see the Chicago skyline right there.
Concordia Hall at Concordia University Chicago.
A CUC nursing student and choose to stand tall for healing at a university that places Christ at the center and embraces teaching students to live a life fulfilled by purpose and meaning. Concordia University Chicago's new Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree is an innovative and rigorous 4-year program that will prepare you to rise to the daily challenges of a rewarding nursing career and serve a greater cause. Our newly built modern simulation center features 4 distinct spaces: a skills attainment lab, multi-specialty intensive care spaces, a health assessment learning center, and a simulated home environment. Due to our close proximity to many world-class teaching hospitals, CUC's clinical rotations offer an abundance of diverse and real-world experiences. Learn more about earning your BSN at a Christ-centered university today.
Hey Cougar fans, thanks for tuning in to today's game.
For more information on the women's basketball program, head to cucougars.com.
We hope to see you at our next game.
It's halftime here as the Cougars coming out of the locker room. They have a big lead over Alverno College, 43-16. Peter, let's go ahead and talk about what we saw in the first half. Really, the story of the game has been the Alverno College turnovers. They have 20 turnovers in that first half. Meanwhile, the Cougars 27 points off of those turnovers.
Yeah, it's just been a very aggressive Cougars defense. They're getting at the ball earlier. They're trying to poke it away, just cause chaos, and they're cleaning up whatever mess they make and then usually scoring points off it because they're causing turnovers so close to the Alverno basket that Alverno does not have enough time to get their defense back and set. So Alverno, I mean, the key to breaking that, Parker, is just moving the ball quicker. You can't have players holding on to the ball for so long or else they're going to lose it.
We saw the Cougars came out in that full court press about midway through the first quarter, but the Cougars have also been able to score a lot of points in that first half. Alexis Desjardins leads the charge with 17 of those points.
Yeah, Desjardins having a good game as she usually has been so far this season. Been one of the standouts for the CUC squad. She's getting it done from the three-point line, and we're even seeing her pulling out the mid-range J a little bit this game. So it's nice to see Desjardins, who is such a good three-point shooter. She's not only doing it from beyond the arc, she's doing it close to the basket. She's getting to the free throw line. Desjardins doing a little bit of it all tonight, and she's got a game-leading 17 points because of it.
Michaela Ellis, the second leading scorer for the Cougars. She has 10 points. Let's go ahead and talk about Alverno College now. Their leading scorer, Deanna Woodson, she has 9 points. She's really been the only player that's been able to do much of anything on the offensive end.
Yeah, Woodson is having a solid game. Unfortunately, the rest of the team just not able to really get the ball to her hands because of the turnovers problems. But she's playing faster. She's playing smart than most of the Alverno roster, and that's why she's been rewarded with the team leading 9 points. Alverno might need to lean a little bit more on Woodson as this game goes on to get these points and amount any kind of comeback.
And Peter, the Cougars 27-point lead at halftime. On paper, this is a game the Cougars should win. What do they have to do to close it out?
Well, the shot selection could be a little bit better from the Cougars. They're shooting around 30% from the field, which is not great for a team who's up by just about 30 points. So being a little bit smarter with the shots you're taking, finding those better looks. You know, the first look always isn't the best look. You have such a big lead. You can now run the offense a little bit, get some off-ball movement, find those good looks, and hopefully get that field goal percentage up a little bit, because 30%, whether you're up by 30 or down by 30% just is not a great number in that field goal percentage category.
Once again, the Cougars lead Alverno College 43-16. Should be an interesting second half. We'll have to see how it turns out. Peter and I will continue to be on the call with you, and we'll see how the second half goes. And we're back. Second half action out to be underway here on the Cougar Sports Network. The Cougars are going to start out on offense as Sydney Mitchell taking it up the court. She will stay at the point in replacement of Kalia Reed, who went out in that first half with the injury. A quick turnover early by the Cougars. And now Alverno College, their first crack on the offensive end, poked away by Missouri Wiggum and out of bounds. Foul called on number 1, Victoria Parra.
Cougars, they just need to keep it going defensively. We see them cause a little bit of a turnover here after a turnover on their own end. I mean, as much as this offense has struggled to shoot from the field, shooting 31% to be exact, as long as the defense can keep doing what they're doing, keep causing those turnovers, keeping Alverno off the boards, you should have no problems. I mean, Alverno, if they match their first half total, they will still have lost this game because they're on track for just 32 points tonight.
Alverno was able to break the press, and that is Woodson who takes it to the rack for the first points of the half for the Inferno.
Nice poke away there. I believe she stepped out of bounds.
I believe they are going to say that Jamerson stepped out of bounds. She was tight roping that sideline, but we're going to result in an Inferno turnover. So now Leela Scott set to inbound. Cougars have had no issue really breaking this Alverno College press. A three from Alexis Desjardins, no good as it kind of hung up there for a little bit. She had 17 points in the first half, and she's been dominant on offense for CUC.
Yeah, and as for that Alverno press you mentioned, Parker, I mean, they're just not as quick as the Cougars are. The Cougars are some really good athletes out there. That's why they're able to maintain that press. Alverno doesn't have that speed in their game, so their press is going to be a little bit easier to break than what CUC's been doing tonight.
And now Alexis Desjardins thought about it, decides to pull the trigger, and what do you know? Finds its way to the bottom of the net. Alexis Desjardins, 20 points here tonight versus conference opponent in Alverno College. That three from Para, no good. Offensive board pulled in by Spencer. And now Woodson going to try a three. No good. Rebound pulled in by Desjardins.
Good cover there by Missouri Wingham. Able to get over. Didn't get anything on the ball, but just had her hand up. Great contest there from number 0.
That nice court vision by Sydney Mitchell finds Michaela Ellis, who comes up a little gimpy after making the layup.
She's still trying to walk it off, you can tell.
She appears to be all right for the time being. That shot by Para, no good. Rebound pulled in by Ellis. Quick to get it up the court. That's going to be a quick timeout called by Coach Lauren Martin and the Cougars. Looks like we're going to get a substitution for Michaela Ellis and Allie McGregor. Go ahead and take a quick pause in the action as the Cougars lead the Inferno 48-18. You're listening to the Cougar Sports Network.
Interested to find out more about Concordia Chicago?
Head to cuchicago.edu for information on our university.
We appreciate y'all for tuning in today's game. Hope to see you soon.
We're back here in the third quarter, 8:03 remaining here in the third. Cougars with a 30-point lead over Alverno College. That pass into Sydney Mitchell. Sydney Mitchell being guarded by Woodson. She gets past the screen, set by McGregor. Now Leela Scott comes over to receive the pass. Scott, nowhere to go. Looking for an outlet. Gets it to Wiggum, who's standing behind her. 3 seconds left on the shot clock. They're going to have to get a shot up, and that's going to be a violation on the Cougars. Their first shot clock violation of the night.
Good defense all around by Alverno. Riley Spencer had a really good switch. That was after Desjardins set a screen, and Spencer is right there to trap the ball handler. So good defense all around from Alverno. They're going to need a little bit more of that on settled 5v5 basketball. They have any chance of getting back in this one, down by 30.
And now Woodson gets it over. That's Jamerson. Her three, no good. Rebound by Allie McGregor. She's quick to get it up the court to Sydney Mitchell, who just uses her speed to finish on the other side.
Yeah, Mitchell has been flashing that top gear all season long, as now Cougars get caught on an odd man break. But
fighting for that board is Allie McGregor. Tell you what, she's looked a lot more aggressive on the defensive end here in the past 2 to 3 games. It's something that Coach Martin has wanted to see out of her junior forward. And Allie McGregor, we're going to get a substitution. As in for Missouri Wiggum comes Princess Gates. Now Woodson dribbling at the top of the key. The handoff to Para. Para decides to pull the trigger, and it's good. Victoria Para from the top of the key.
Excellent use of some bodies, some screens to just get enough open space for an open three, and now another turnover caused by Alverno. They're seeming to pick things up a little bit so far in this second half. Not saying a comeback's necessarily in the fold. I mean, they're still down by 29 points, but they're looking a lot better than they did going into the halftime break.
Some halftime adjustments made by Coach Carlisle Ross, and Alverno College have come out looking like a much different team, but that layup by Spencer just thrown up there. Wild miss. Now Alexis Desjardins on the other end. That's off the front of the iron. And now Woodson, quick play in transition. pushes off of Sydney Mitchell. They're going to call a blocking foul on Mitchell.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty blatant push-off from Deanna Woodson, but said Mitchell gets tagged with it. So Alverno, I think, catches a little bit of a break there. See if they can take advantage of free possession.
And now Woodson throws up a pass on Mitchell. Woodson at the top of the key. That should be an interesting matchup tonight as Woodson and Mitchell going at it. That's going to be a nice bucket from Alexia Harris. Alverno College, 7 points here in the first 4.5 minutes of play in the third quarter. They had 7 points in that whole first quarter that we saw in the opening game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that they're looking amazing by any means, but they're playing just solid basketball. Still, missing shots, missing open plays. The turnover is still there. It's not been a perfect 4.5 minutes of basketball by any means, but it's significantly improved from that first half. And if they keep this up, that's going to force the Cougar hand. I mean, the Cougars, as good as they played in that first half, it wasn't perfect by any means. They still made mistakes, and they're taking advantage of an Alverno team who looked really out of it. So if Alverno could just start playing some good basketball, it could be a much, much more even game.
Now that pass bouncing around, bouncing off of different players' hands, rolling around. And it's going to be a turnover for Alverno College. We're going to see if the Inferno's still applying that full court pressure. It looks like they will. As set to inbound for CUC is Alexis Desjardins, who's having herself quite the night, 20 points. She needs to get this Cougar offense going, so you see 4 turnovers in their last 2.5 minutes of play. That pass into Princess Gates. A quick whistle, foul called. So it's going to go on the Cougars, and now Alverno going to go back on offense. So a 5th turnover for CUC in under 3 minutes.
Yes, CUC's look sloppy coming out of that halftime break. Maybe a little bit of overzealousness, the confidence maybe getting them a little bit. And I mean, it doesn't matter. If you're up by 30 on a conference opponent, you still need to just keep piling it on. Just keep going and going. Don't let your foot off the brake, because you never know when a team's going to do exactly what Alverno is doing right now, which is play a lot better basketball and claw their way back in this one.
Alexis Desjardins trying to take it herself, and she does. Alexis Desjardins said, "Sit down." She gets the foul called and the bucket, so a chance for a 3-point play for Alexis Desjardins.
Yeah, tough play there by Desjardins. We know how physical she is, and I think we've seen a little less of that this season as she's really started to live beyond the three-point arc. But when she gets down in the paint, she gets chances for like that. There are not many players in this conference who are going to be able to outmuscle Alexis Desjardins, and she proved it right there. Even though she was smothered and she got a foul, she still said, "I'm the one who's hitting the weight room. I'm going to hit that shot any day and draw the foul on top of it."
And not even that. She just looked like she would straight up wanted it more. Took it coast to coast, bodied her way through the paint, and willed that and one opportunity. She was able to convert on the 3-point play. That goes out of bounds, but going to stay with Alverno College. Both teams using their full court press, really not let off the gas defensively. That pass is in. Trying to break the press is Riley Spencer. She's going to try to take it, tries to get it to Alexia Harris, but that pass goes out of bounds, just not even in the vicinity of Harris.
Well, Alverno, they're not having a great shooting performance in the second half, 3 for 11, but they're at least breaking that full court press, which was really their Achilles heel in that first half. And as soon as they can start getting shots to fall, they're going to start getting back in this one. So CUC, Coach Martin, and the rest of her staff might need to cook something up a little bit different on the defensive end, because I think Alverno is starting to figure out that full court press, how to break it. It's just a matter of, are they going to be able to start hitting their shots or not?
Have not had a problem breaking it so far, as Miracle Anderson gets a chance at the line. First free throw attempt, no good. after starting the half pretty solid. Alverno College on a little bit of a scoring drought, haven't scored in 2.5 minutes. They're 2 of their last 10 from the field. Meanwhile, CUC, after a very slow start, they're 4 of their last 5. Still have the 30-point lead as Mitchell playing tough defense on Woodson. I'm telling you, this is going to be a good matchup to watch as both players absolutely going at it. Spencer on Anderson, puts on the spin move, shot no good, but a foul on Miracle Anderson.
Yeah, going to that Woodson-Mitchell matchup, I think ever since that play that Mitchell got caught on a block for, that looked pretty clearly like a Woodson push. I think Mitchell took that one to heart, said, all right, I'm just going to start locking you down now. Did so there. Of course, there's another player who ended up getting the foul, and Spencer, and Woodson takes a seat on the bench now. But like you said, Parker, this is going to be a fun matchup to watch. Mitchell plays with a lot of heart. She's feisty, and you can tell when someone ticks her off like that, she's going to put everything she can onto the court to just go at that player.
And there was a little bit of chirping going on between the two as well. I mean, just a feisty matchup on both sides, really. That's deflected off of Spencer, so going to stay with the Cougars. Alverno still utilizing that full court press. Miracle Anderson set to inbound. She looks to get it into Perry. Now quick pass back to Anderson. Again, no problem breaking that press. As Mitchell standing on the wing. Kick out, Princess Gates. That three, no good off the side of the rim. Rebound by Mitchell, and the putback is good.
I think Woodson made a mistake with that push off. I know Mitchell got charged with the foul on it, but that seems to have awakened something in Mitchell because she's playing with a whole new brand of fire. She looks aggressive defensively. That's a great board. Again, Mitchell, one of the shorter players on the court at any different time. She got airborne on that, pulled it down, and a nice little floater, nothing but net. So I think that play did nothing to make Sydney Mitchell a little mad.
And now Sydney Mitchell
Oh,
on
my
three.
goodness.
Absolutely ignited. Geisman Gymnasium. Sydney Mitchell tearing it up for CUC.
Woodson should never have pushed off there. That was a bad mistake there because that awakened something in Sydney Mitchell. She helps cause that turnover, see if she can get something else out of it.
Now Malia Perry, layup good. 60 points for CUC. They're leading Alverno 60-24. CUC, they're 7 of their last 9, and they're on a 7-0 run.
And a possession for CUC. I don't think Alverno knows what to do here. Coach Ross might want to start eyeing that timeout because his team, this is one of those moments you can just feel the momentum in CUC's favor. They are riding high right now. And that's one of those moments, if you're Coach Ross and Alverno, you might need to take a timeout just to cool things down. The fans are really into it. This is probably the most excited we've seen them all night. He's electing to just let his team try and fight through it.
And now Malia Perry a three. That's no good. Wild miss. And they're going to call a foul on Abby Kulig, who was fighting for the rebound.
Yeah, she's flabbergasted at that foul, and I agree. I don't know exactly what is on. We saw her fall to the ground. Must have slapped a player on her way down or something. And know just about as much of that foul as she does, but
now Riley Spencer taking it up the court. Spencer, step back jumper. Off the top of the backboard. Rebound pulled in by Alverno College. That was number 14, Kyla Jamerson, who's been fairly quiet here in the second half. CUC going to go back on offense. And tell you what, after a pretty solid start to this third quarter, CUC's shown that they've been in control of this game for basically the entire contest. And Alverno College just looks startled.
yeah, 7-0 run for CUC in just 50 seconds, and I mean, that's exactly what the doctor ordered. A slow start to the half. Alverno looked like they were really pulling it together, and then CUC says, hold my drink, watch this. They go on a 7-0 run in 50 seconds. Alverno, 4 turnovers in a minute, 6 in 3.5 minutes. No field goals in 3.5 minutes. CUC, after that sluggish start, playing great defense again, and this offense has not looked better tonight.
Miracle Anderson, pass to Abby Cooling. Abby Cooling with the bucket. I'll tell you what, Miracle Anderson's court vision, oh my gosh, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, Cougars, I mean, they lost their main point guard from last season, which was Jaylene Wade, main point guard from the last couple seasons, I should say. And, you know, you need that player like Jaylene Wade who can have that great court vision, who can see it well, find those open shots in a second's notice. And Miracle Anderson, obviously still coming off the bench. She's a freshman. This is just the 9th game of her collegiate career, but she's displaying the ability that, hey, after a little bit more seasoning, she can take that role in the starting lineup of, I'm the main point guard, I'm going to be running this offense, because the way she's passing, the way she's finding open shooters, why wouldn't you put her in that role? She's got great court vision. She led the team in assists last game, and so far tonight, she's having herself another really good game distributing the ball.
Malia Perry now at the top, dribbling around, gets it back to Wiggum. They're trying to get it into Cooling. Cooling not able to corral the pass at first. Now the Cougars scrapping for the ball, and a foul called. I believe this one's going to go against Riley Spencer, and it does. Now that's 5 fouls in the quarter for Alverno College, and a trip to the line for number 10, Princess Gates.
Alverno needs something of a heat check here. Cougars are just playing out of their minds over the last couple minutes. 9-0 run in under 2 minutes, 12-1 run in just over 3 minutes. 4 of their last 5 field goals. Alverno's got to do something. They got to hit a big three. They got to get a big turnover and convert on it. They got to do something just to calm this Cougars team down, because, I mean, it's hard enough when you're playing a team who, you know, outclasses you in a lot of ways, especially on paper. But when that team's playing with confidence the way CUC is, you need something, whatever it is, to just slow the momentum down, get the game back in control.
Maybe this is the start of something for the Inferno, as now it's been a while since they've had any trips to the free throw line. They are, as a team, 1 of 3 from the line tonight. And now an opportunity for number 4, Morgan Witten. Her first shot is good. Gives the Inferno their 25th point of the contest. One more shot coming up for the sophomore out of Columbus, Mississippi. Second shot is good, so Witten able to connect on both free throws for the Inferno.
Now it's all down to their defense. This Cougars offense, again, they have not looked better yet tonight. So Alverno, they need more stops like that defensively to start turning the tide back in their favor and try to crawl back in this one.
Now a three-point attempt from Spencer, no good. Offensive board pulled in by Alexia Harris, but a quick swipe at the ball, and Princess Gates is going to get called with the foul. And a trip to the line for Alexia Harris. And last minute, the Inferno have had 2 trips to the free throw line. Before that, they only had 2 trips as well. So getting some chances at the free throw line for Alverno College, as Harris able to connect on her first free throw. Second one coming up. As a team, Alverno is now 4 of 6. Percentage gone up to 66%. That free throw off the front of the rim. As a team, they're 4 of 7. Rebound pulled in by Wiggum. Malia Perry standing all alone on the wing. Drives in, layup, no good. Rebound pulled in by Morgan Golubowski. And another quick whistle. Refs have not hesitated to blow the whistle at all tonight. We've seen several fouls on both teams.
You got to engage a little bit quicker there if you're Malia Perry. She got that pass. She waited just a little split second, but that allowed 2 Alverno defenders to collapse to the bucket. As soon as you get that pass, heck, even before you get the pass, you should be taking your first step to the rim, so you're able to get moving before those defenders realize what's going on.
Now here's Golubowski. Her first free throw is good. Alverno just trying to scrap together some points. I'm not going to say a comeback is improbable, but they trail by 35 points with 53 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Second free throw attempt is good. Pulled themselves a point closer, and now a substitution for CUC as Lindley Southern checks back into the game. We saw her a little bit there in the first half. She comes in relief for Princess Gates. Down to Zuri Wiggum. Gets it up top to Abby Kulig. Now Southern standing on the wing. Thought about getting it in the post to Jackson, who's also into the game for the Cougars. Kulig. Layup no good. Rebound pulled in. A Youngblood. And another whistle as ball goes out of bounds.
Not a bad look there from Kulig. Nice little spin move. Tried to lay it off the glass, and that'll just come with more experience. Kulig in her first season of collegiate ball. But she had the footwork, she had the skill set to get a somewhat decent shot, and you hope just with a little bit more time she'll be able to finish those plays.
Play clock about a second ahead of the shot clock. Shot clock now off, 6 seconds. Alverno trying to get something to the big block.
Give me that.
Nazuri Wiggum with authority blocks the shot of Morgan Golubowski. Just when Alverno was trying to get something to the rim, Nazuri Wiggum stepped in and said, "Not in my house," or as you would say, "No soup for you."
Yeah, I don't think you could put a cherry on top of this quarter any better. At least the second half of the quarter for CUC, they've just been lights out. And again, I don't think anything sums it up better than an emphatic block like that.
And the Cougars continuing to build off their lead as they are up big on Alverno College, 63-29 at the end of the third quarter. We'll be back for the final quarter of action between these conference opponents. You're listening to the Cougar Sports Network. We're back here for the start of the fourth quarter as Alverno College going to start out on offense as Riley Spencer taking it up the court for the Inferno. That pass to Harris. Driving in is Youngblood, and the charge taken. That is Abby Kulig. Nice defensive play by the Cougars, picking up right where they left off.
Yeah, you can tell just by how loud CUC's bench is. I mean, I think this is the most fired up we've seen them all game, which is saying something because they've been up by 20 points or more for a majority of this game. They've been up by 30 points or more for a decent chunk of it as well. But, when you're up by, over 30 and your bench is still getting loud, things are just going your way. And Alverno, they need to come up with some kind of response to at least make this game look a bit more respectable.
That pass was intended for Kulig, bounced right off of her hands. But another turnover by Alverno College. Tell you what, turnovers have been a major issue for Alverno tonight. 30 in this game so far.
Yeah, but you look at the other side of that. 20 of them were in the first half, so they had 10 in the third, which, they're on track for 20 again in the second half. But even though they had 10 in the third, it didn't look as bad as it did in that first half. I think the Cougars might have slowed down a little bit on terms of the points off of turnovers department, but still not a great look. 10 turnovers in one quarter. Even if they're not allowing points off those turnovers, you're still losing the ball. You're still losing a possession, which means you can't score, which you need to do when you're losing 63-29 less than 9 minutes to go here in regulation.
Now Alverno College, it's Harris. Gets it to Youngblood at the top. Youngblood, the handoff to Spencer. Spencer thought about it. Gets it up to Parra, and Parra's three is good. 32 points for Alverno College. They're trying to, again, just scrap together as many points as they can.
And, 10 of those points coming from Parra, and she's having a decent day from behind the arc. 2 for 4, some nice hits, some clean hits, too.
Now Malia Perry is going to return the favor, and Malia Perry, her first three-pointer of the night from the wing.
And that's a bad break for Alverno. You get a three, you get some desperately needed points, and you go down and you allow another three. So Alverno's going to need to step it up defensively. It doesn't matter how many points they start putting up, which another three helps in that category. But if you're allowing CUC to score at will, that's just not going to math out at the end of the day.
Riley Spencer hits a three for Alverno College, and now Kulig. Cross-court pass to Malia Perry. Malia Perry trying to drive in, and that's a blocking call on Alverno College. Looked like Youngblood and Parra both standing in the way of Perry. So a wise decision from the senior out of Plainfield, Illinois, to go in and draw the foul. And now for the first time tonight, number 11, Emma Nickerson, checks in for CUC as she comes in for Lindley Southern. So the inbound now, Perry gets it into Jackson. Jackson's going to try a three. No good. Off the rim.
Look for one more look on that. Nickerson was wide open at the top of the key. I know she just checked into the game, still trying to get her bearings under her, but you had a wide open shooter at the top of the arc. You got to be able to hit that shooter.
And now another chance for trip to the free throw line. This time it's Alexia Harris. Just got the bucket, so chance at a three-point play as one more substitution for CUC. Coach Martin trying to get everybody some minutes as 25, Janie Turnez checks in, senior out of Oaklawn, Illinois. Now Harris, chance at a three-point play. She's able to connect, so a three-point play for Alexia Harris. Now Jackson gives it up to Miracle Anderson. Anderson analyzing, gets it up to Perry. Perry's going to try another one. No good. Offensive rebound pulled in by Cavallari. And now Woodson, who we saw for about the beginning of the third quarter, she checks back in. We were watching that matchup with her and Sydney Mitchell. It was a good one.
Yeah, interesting choice by Coach Ross to take her out for a lot of that third. I mean, she's leading the team with 11 points, one of the best players out there in the black and red. And she's not in foul trouble either. She's got just 2 on the night. So, see what she can do back in the game now. I'm kind of wondering if Sydney Mitchell's itching to get back in now. That number 11 in black's out there.
And Woodson just throws up one and gets fouled. I believe this is going to go against, I'm not exactly sure who it was on. Might have been, that was 11, Emma Nickerson, who just checked in not too long ago. Nickerson gets her first personal foul of the night, team second. Trip to the line for Woodson. Alverno getting some more trips to the free throw line in the second half than they did in the first. First free throw attempt from Woodson gets some help from the backboard. She's looking to get her team's 40th point of the night as her second free throw is pending. And an air ball for Woodson from the line, and she hears it from this crowd here in Geisman. Now Sydney Mitchell, or excuse me, that's Miracle Anderson. Anderson gets it to Nickerson. Nickerson thought about it. She had an open three. She wanted to take it. Alverno College down the 2-3 zone. Malia Perry, pump fake to the rim. Oof. Malia Perry, some hot sauce.
That was pretty. Nice move there. Just a little Euro step. Let me step right through ya. Doesn't get much prettier than that.
Now CUC in the 2-3 zone now. So both teams come out in the zone. Now Para tries to get the layup. No good. Rebound pulled in. That is Cavallari. Now Woodson being guarded by Nickerson. Woodson gives it up to Cavallari. Her three. Off the rim, no good. Rebound pulled in by Southern. Southern trying to get it to Anderson, but she's fouled by Woodson. That's now Woodson's third foul of the night. It's something we haven't talked about tonight. Alverno College has 5 players with 3 fouls. This is a team that did not come into the game with a lot of depth. Only 10 players listed on the roster.
Yeah, they're going to have to start playing those players some more, but, you know, just about 5 minutes up in the fourth quarter, 3 fouls isn't a terrible spot to be in. You just hope that, you know, in a game that's largely out of hand at this point, you're down by 29 points. You just hope no one fouls out because that could lead to some more repercussions past just this game.
Now Malia Perry to inbound. They're going to call the foul on number 2, Alexia Harris. Perry gets it into Turnez, who's in the post. Turnaround, no good. Turnez was attempting the hook shot. Now Para taking it up the court for the Inferno.
Good look by Turnez. She's got height on her. She was right under the paint. Nice turnaround. She's not able to convert on her first shot of the night.
The Inferno in a little bit of trouble right in the middle of that zone, but Woodson able to connect on a three-pointer. 3 good from Woodson. Now Anderson gives it up to Southern. I believe they're going to call a charge. So good defensive play by Woodson. She's stringing together a couple of nice ones. Checking into the game for Victoria Para is Morgan Witten.
Lena Paul checks in for CUC, another freshman. Getting some minutes here in late stage of the game. Less than 4.5 minutes to go in regulation.
Now Alverno College, corner 3 for Kyla Jamerson. No good. Rebound pulled in by Paul, who makes an instant impact coming off the bench. She's going to try to take it coast to coast. Gives it up to Turnez. Turnez now for 3. No good. Rebound pulled in by Jamerson. Quickly gives it up to Woodson. Now Woodson being guarded by Nickerson. Gives it up to Cavallari, and mismatch on Alina Paul. And now a foul called on Paul. And getting her hands all the way up in the air, brought her left arm down a little bit. Cavallari, a chance at the line for the Inferno. As a team, they're 8 of 12. And here in the fourth quarter, I believe this is going to be their this is their 3rd trip to the line tonight. The Inferno got an and one opportunity earlier in the quarter. Now here's a chance for Cavallari. Cavallari goes 0 for 2 from the line, so the Cougars catch a break. Nickerson gives it up to Paul, who's running the show. here in the dwindling minutes of the fourth quarter. Nickerson gives it up to Southern. Cougars still swinging the ball around. Nickerson, a wide open three. No good off the back iron. Rebound pulled in by Southern.
Good luck for the three, wide open in the corner. Cougars still have some shooters open. Nickerson was open again on the three. Now she moves in.
Now Nickerson, nice move. Oh, just not able to finish. That bench would have went alive if she was able to hit that. It was a nice move, just not able to finish.
Yeah, nice move there by Nickerson. And she's just had some good spacing off ball. She had that open three look that she was able to convert on. She had another open look from beyond the arc that Cougars just didn't hit her on. And then good cut to the basket. Nice move to get a pretty high percentage shot. When able to find the hoop on it.
And now Madeline Cavallari. Another chance at the free throw line for her. So she went 0 for 2 in her last trip. And now 0 for 3 in her last 3 attempts. Struggling from the line here in the fourth quarter. Cavallari has yet to score a point in her 29 minutes of play tonight. It's been a quiet night for her. Freshman out of Greenfield, Wisconsin, got the start tonight, and that's her first point. And she's able to connect on that free throw, getting some help from the rim. However, the Cougars still maintaining a pretty sizable lead, 68-43. Lena Paul bringing it up the court. Gives it up to Jackson. Jackson for three. No. Rebound by Southern. Southern's putback no good. Rebound by Youngblood. Gives it to Witten. Now back to Youngblood. Alverno trying to space out the floor a little bit. Good tip by Nickerson, but it ends up in the hands of Para. Now back to Witten. Comes off the screen set by Para. Shot clock going down, and that is a good layup by Kayla Jamerson.
Tough layup, too, through contact, going through a body. But stuck with it.
And now Nickerson had a wide open three, but decided to give it up to Turnez. Ball fumbling around a little bit, ends up in the hands of Jamerson.
Too close to operate there for CUC.
And now Woodson a three. No. Rebound by Witten. Finds herself in the right place. Late foul called on Alina Paul. So that's her second foul since entering the game about midway through the fourth quarter. So a trip to the line for Morgan Witten. Witten from the line, 2 for 2 tonight. Or only 2 points scored. Now 3 for 3. Witten's also 0 for 2 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3. And her 13 minutes of action also has added 3 rebounds. Now Witten, 4 for 4. Witten has 4 points on the night. Alina Paul. Screen set by Turnez, decides to go the other way. Paul in a little bit of trouble. Gives it up to Nickerson. Now Southern standing on the wing. Now Paul. Less than 10 on the shot clock. Lindley, Southern. That shot no good. Now Jackson. And Kayla Jackson gets her first points of the night in a big way.
And credit Janie Turnez on that. That ball was heading out of bounds after the Southern miss, and she's able to punch it back in right to Jackson. So good effort there by number 2-5 in gold. So now she commits the error and sends the Inferno player to the free throw line.
That is Victoria Para. This is her first trip to the line tonight. She has 10 points. She's the Inferno's second leading scorer, right behind her teammate Deanna Woodson, who has 15. Para 4 for 12 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. Her first free throw attempt rolls around, no good. Victoria Parra got the start tonight. She's played 25 minutes. She tries to tack on another point for her team. That shot no good off the back iron. Fighting for the board was Kayla Jackson, but they're going to say she was out of bounds. So Alverno College, another chance on offense. 1:12 remaining in the contest. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Gets it into Woodson. Woodson going to take her time. Screen set by Parra. Now Woodson's going to pull up. Shot no good. Rebound by Southern. That's up the court to Alina Paul. Alina Paul racing. And they're going to negate the basket, saying she traveled.
Ooh, that's a tough break. St. Paul just slowed down way too much before the basket. You got to keep running through the layup. I see slowing down a little bit to get your bearings, but she came to just about a dead stop. You just keep on running until you lay that ball up, or else you're going to get tagged with a travel like she just did.
Alina Paul was very excited to get her first points of the night. So excited, she took an extra step or two. Now at 70-49, Alina Paul. That's a turnover. Now Jamerson, she's going to get the layup and the foul. A foul committed by Kayla Jackson. Now the Inferno down by 19. Usually that Cougars have had a 20 to 30 point lead throughout the majority of the contest, but slowly continuing to chip away, even though there's only 28 seconds left. Now Jamerson. Trip to the line for her. She's able to convert on the 3-point play. It's now an 18-point deficit.
Well, shot clock's off, so CUC could just hold it or go for it there and risk another turnover.
Witten. That's going to be a charge on Kayla Jackson. Lots of action going on in the final minute of play, I got to say.
Yeah, you wonder if the Cougars, Alverno is still pressing. They're not letting up, but CUC, they just need to hold the ball. You have less than 20 seconds to go. Shot clock obviously off. Just get possession and hold it.
Now Alina Paul takes a hard fall. She's trying to get the pass from Turness. The foul called. That is on number 35, Haley Youngblood. So now Alina Paul, a chance at the charity stripe and the bonus. So 1-and-1 opportunity for Alina Paul. If she makes the first one, gets a second attempt. If she doesn't make it, there's a chance at it is going to be two free throw attempts for Alina Paul. Second free throw pending. It's up and good. So Alina Paul gets her first point of the night.
You see Coach Ross telling Woodson to just hold it. I think she's going to try and go for something here last second.
Witten's going to put up a three, and it's no good. And the Cougars extend their win streak to 3 games in a row with the 71-52 victory over conference opponent Alverno College. That was a good win for the Cougars. As we talked about really throughout the broadcast, they're continuing to build off of the things that they've been doing well the past 2 games.
Yeah, and, it wasn't always the prettiest game for CUC. They only shot 33% from the field, 25% from 3. Neither of those numbers are too far off from what Alverno was shooting from those marks, but they got the job done in other places. The defense was fantastic, causing 31 turnovers, scoring 38 points off of it. They got to the line a ton, 25 free throws at the end of the game, converted on 18 of them. They played fast, they played their game, and yeah, again, shooting maybe wasn't the prettiest, but you'll definitely take the win if you're Coach Martin. It's a decisive win over the conference opponent, and it's kind of the stat to look at. CUC now 2-0 in conference play. They're taking care of business against teams they need to take care of business of, and they're building up their record. So when they go up against tougher conference opponents, they already have that record cushion a little bit. But good win here from CUC. Plenty of good things to talk about. Plenty of things to improve upon too. So Coach Lauren Martin getting a good sample of everything tonight. But as for the rest of the night, just gets to celebrate with her team that their win streak's up to 3, their conference record 2-0. And now they just got to get ready for a pretty tough opponent on Saturday with the University of Wisconsin lacrosse.
Once again, the Cougars down the Inferno 71-52 to improve to 5-4 on the season, 2-0 in conference play. Real quick, want to give a shout out to our student workers. Our spotters, Sydney Pulaski-Slaughter, working the scoreboard, Saba Miller on the cameras, Juan Woodley and William Bishop Green and Emma Borelli. Our producers, Jessica Gang and Ashley Schroll, working the scoreboard, Danielle Burke and shot clock, Chandler Kerr. We are under the direction of Sydney Pulaski-Slaughter and our sports information director, Kayla McLeod. We have a post-game interview coming up with head women's basketball coach Lauren Martin, so stick around for that. Coming up here on the Cougar Sports Network.
What's up, Cougar Nation? We love the support you give us on and off the court. To donate to our athletic communications department, hit the thank button.
This helps us to continue to have the best live stream possible for some great Cougar basketball moments.
Thank you, and enjoy the game.
Fans, I'm standing here with head women's basketball coach Lauren Martin. Coach, your team has been playing exceptional as of late on a 3-game win streak. Get a big win, 71-52 over Alverno College tonight. What was most impressive about your team's performance tonight?
The overall team performance, like in general, it's nice to be able to get another conference win and do it in a fashion where it's getting everybody in and getting some really good looks at the basket for everybody.
Absolutely, and one of the players that really stuck out to me, Alexis Desjardins, she had 23 points tonight. She's really been automatic from the field and from behind the three-point line. How impressive was her performance?
Yeah, she came out and she was hot. I just looked at her stat line, and she did that without turning the ball over too. And she was streaking from the free throw line, and she missed her first one of the season. So new streak begins. But when we get to the line and we've got a free throw shooter like her, it's going to help us win games down the stretch. So all in all, yeah, impressive offensively. But to see her getting to the line the way she is too really helps our whole team out.
Absolutely, and the team was just as good on the defensive end, forcing over 30 turnovers from Alverno, holding this team to under 51 points. It was a great defensive performance as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We had some goals going into it numerically, and we came pretty close to them, and especially with the rebounding, getting plus 50 on the boards was one of our goals too. So forcing those turnovers, and then from the forced turnovers, fast break points, that was part of the game plan, and our whole team executed tonight.
And last thing, we know Kalia Reed went down with the injury right before halftime. Do we have any update on her?
She'll be all right. She'll be all right. Yep. She's a fighter. So we'll look to get her back as soon as possible and, be ready on Saturday.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Coach, and congrats on the win tonight.
Thanks, Parker.
And the Cougars will be right back at home on Saturday as they are set to host the University of Wisconsin lacrosse one more time, getting the win over Alverno College tonight, 72-51. I'm Parker Kelly signing off the Cougar Sports Network. We'll see you on Saturday. Go Cougars.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.